everybody, and welcome back to another episode of the Points of Articulation. My name's Dave, and if you're new to the channel, welcome. Today I'm looking at the Hot Wheels Star Wars Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Starfighter. Now the Jedi Starfighter, aka the Jedi Interceptor, or its real name, the Eta II Ectus Class Interceptor, made its on-screen debut in Star Wars Episode 3, Revenge of the Sith, and a couple different variants made its way into the Clone Wars. And yes, I know Yoda's Jedi Starfighter is a Hot Wheels ship. Currently I am hunting it, but it is a little expensive at the moment, but sooner or later I will pick it up. Now the first time I ever saw this ship, I remember I got out of, I believe I was still in high school or middle school. I ran home. Now I'm a big guy, and I was a big kid. So imagine me rolling down the street. I had to get home as fast as possible. And my father, sister, my good friend Tim and I went to the movie theater. And after the opening crawl of Episode 3, and you see Anakin and Obi-Wan drive over the Republic attack cruiser, and you see the armadas going to war over Coruscant, that blew my mind. And this particular vessel is beautiful. I love what it's doing here. It's a good linking point between the Republic and the Empire. Now, the winds do not open on this, but when they open, they have the radiator panels, very similar to a TIE Fighter. And also the front here is a TIE Fighter window. So, you have a good mixture of old and new. And I like it for that. Now, this ship was very fast. It had laser cannons, ion cannons, and also a good shield generator, and carried an R2 unit. But it did have one drawback. It had no hyperspace engine. For that, it had to link up to a hyperspace Rin, very similar to the Jedi Starfighters in Attack of the Clones. Now, if it didn't have the hyperspace Rin, it had to be ferried by a larger craft. So if it didn't have either of them, it was basically stranded on a planet, which is kind of a bummer. Now, you know me, I could actually talk about these ships forever, but let's get on with the review. For the size of this particular model, it's 3 inches long, which is pretty awesome. And we do have a lot to look at. We're going to check out the mold, the paint, put it on a stand compared to some other vessels, and then we'll be done. So let's get moving. Alright, kicking this review off looking at the mold. Like always, I'll go over the main parts of the ship, and then we'll get up close and personal with all those details. Now, to my knowledge, this ship right here is just a repaint of the original Interceptor we got when the line first was introduced. It had like a purplish color scheme. I never picked it up. It was before I got into the line. But some great designs here. I wish the winds opened and everything else, but, what do you want? But it is kind of cool. I do like the details on here. But anywho, let's go over the main parts before we get knee-deep in all that stuff. We have our cockpit, transparent steel windows. That's pretty awesome. Our R2 unit, radiator panels that should open up, but they don't. Then in the front, we have our laser cannons, ion cannons. Turning it over, radiator panels again, engines, 4 rivets, copyright crap, stand connector port, any undersides of those laser cannons and wingtips. All in all, a nice looking vessel. So now let's get up close and personal with this bad boy. Okay, having a very close look here, we can see the beautifully molded laser cannons. I think they came out very nice, little tiny details. For the wings themselves, we have some paneling, Republic symbol right there above my finger. Coming back, R2-D2. Not painted, but there is some basic designs on him, and it did come out pretty good. Right here we have our ion cannons. Pretty nice. Coming down we have our radiator wings. Little paneling here and there. And I love this design, this raised wall here next to the cockpit. I think that came out beautiful. And that's the same for this side as well. Just nicely done. Now for the cockpit itself, some great designs on here. We can see that the paint basically rounds everything out, but the details are there. Little recessed for the windows, which is a nice touch. And then there's the front of the ship. There we go. Beautifully done. I like that a lot. Now looking at the back, we have our engines. And they are pretty good. Some nice details, especially on the back here. Love that. I think it came out good. For the winds, more paneling, our radiator panels. Like the front here. Anything that has a lot of angles and designs, I get a kick out of. Of course, we have our rivets, copyright crap, peg port. There's the other wing. It's pretty good. And I love the little detail that the laser cannons bend into the wing right there. That's a nice touch. All in all, fantastic looking ship. Not perfect, but damn good. Even on the sides here, we have the little hinges where these would open up. They are there. So maybe in the future we'll get a model with wings that are open, because that would be sick. Bottoms of the ion cannons. Maybe this is where the missiles come out. It looks like a little gun there. Pretty interesting. Again, I don't know everything. I do have tons of books on the ships, but, you know, nobody's perfect. So, now that I'm done looking at the mold, let's take a look at the paint. Now, looking at the paint of this Jedi Interceptor, it's not the best paint job, I'm not going to lie, but it's not too bad either. Now, first we have a nice gray, and that's the main color of the ship, and they really tried to match it. Now, the wings are die cast, the only plastic parts are right here, and these tips, and you can see it's almost a perfect match. They really tried. Also, the top of the cockpit is also die cast. Now, on top of that gray, we have yellow, which is very neat. Little pieces are hanging off here and there, but it's not too bad. And you can see it's just beautifully done on the sides here. And also in the open circle fleet emblems. Now, talking about those emblems again, we do have maroon, which is nicely done, and 2 triangles, next to glossy black for the transparent steel windows. Very neat on there. There's no bleeding or nothing. Awesome job. And we do have matte black for the engines in the back. And all in all, that's basically it for the paint. Now, the only problem I have with this is, nope, not black wash. The R2 unit is not painted. Come on, just throw a little blue and white on there. Like it's already gray, just blue and white. Ugh. But regardless, I guess for a little model you put on a shelf, it's not too bad. So that does it for the mold and the paint. So now let's put this bad boy on a stand and compare it to some other ships, and then we'll be done. And just like most Hot Wheels ships, it comes with a cool translucent stand with a Republic symbol. Peg it in the port like so, hear that click, and you're good to go. And now for a quick size comparison with Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Starfighter, I have it next to the Rebels A-Wing from Phoenix Squadron. And then finally on the right, I have it next to Darth Vader's TIE Advanced. Very cool ships in their own way. I'm still a sucker for this A-Wing though, I love that design. And that does it today for my review of the Hot Wheels Star Wars Anakin Skywalker's Jedi Starfighter. Again, first seen in Revenge of the Sith, and for its length, it's 3 inches long, which is pretty cool. Now, I already said that I love the design, so I'm not going to drone on about it. But do I like the Hot Wheels version? Well, first of all, I think the mold is pretty good. Even though nothing moves or opens on it, everything from the blaster cannon all the way to the engines and even the R2 unit are nicely detailed. And that brings me to the paint. Now, a lot of people say I'm too nice on these models and toys and whatnot. And on the whole, I am, I guess. But not today. This ship gets a negative. Now, hear me out. I do like the paint scheme. The gray, the yellow, the glossy black, even the beautifully done maroon. That's okay. But the yellow leaks at times, misaligned on the sides, and it makes it look a little bit sloppy. And I'm not too worried about the yellow, but it is in the back of my mind. What kills it for me, they didn't paint R2-D2. You have Anakin Skywalker's ship, major part in the movie, and he didn't color R2? Like, just throw a little blue and silver or white on there. Like, geez, the thing's already gray. But you know what? I'm not going to beat a dead horse. I'm just going to have to do it myself with a fine brush. 1, 2, 3, and I'll have that bad boy done. Now, getting off the paint, it does come with a great stand, very translucent, and has the Republic symbol on it, which unifies it with the rest of the collection. Now, if you're looking to buy this, all I gotta say is good luck. I looked everywhere in New Jersey, from Target to Walmart, Barnes & Noble. Nobody had these. Nobody had any of this wave. And it's a shame. I tried emailing Hot Wheels. They just shrugged me off. So, you know what? Yet again, I had to go on eBay to find one. And I did not pay a lot for it. So I would recommend, if you can't find one in your area, go on eBay, take your time, just keep looking, and you'll find one for a cheaper price. Trust me, that's usually how it works. Now, I recommend this for anybody who's a fan of the prequels, a fan of the Jedi Order, or Anakin Skywalker. So that's everything I have to say about this awesome ship today. I hope you enjoyed my review. If you did, hit that like button. If you'd like to see new reviews every Thursday, subscribe. Again, thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye, everybody.